What's up, everybody? We back up in here, Hella Flagrant, the podcast. It's your main man, Hella Flagrant, DM. I'm in here with my brother, Sean B. Flagrant, and we back up in here for another episode. Sean B., what's going on, brother?
Oh man, I'm always good, man. Just enjoying this quarantine life, I guess. You feel me? Just kicking it every day at the house.
Is it really quarantine though? Like it's like people
it's
are. If you live in Atlanta, people are outside. You know what I mean? Like
hey, Bay Area, same thing, man. You already know how it is, man. The lake looks crazy. It's just quarantine-ish. Quarantine-ish.
Inspired is what we'll
There you
say.
go. There you go. We'll leave it with that.
So speaking of quarantine inspired, as we all know, sports are different. Drastically different. Baseball's back. It was the first sport to come back. And there were no fans there, man. They got cutouts. The A's are selling cutouts for $90 if you don't have a season ticket, which I don't have. I don't know a lot of people that do. I love my A's, but you know.
Nah.
So cutouts, man, I kind of want one. I'm not even gonna lie. Like I would get one in this shirt with this hat on. Like
yeah, there you go.
Right here, like this. Give me an A's cutout. At the state, you don't want one, like for real though, like just because, like like all jokes aside, like this may never. We hope this would never happen again, to where there are no fans at baseball, and it's a shortened season, so. I don't know. You get to keep your cutout when it's over.
Yeah, you know what? I'm actually the more and more you're talking about it, the more and more I'm actually thinking about it my damn self. Just because, hey, you're right. Hopefully, this will never happen again. Hopefully, this is the last year that we're gonna have to deal with this with sports.
Yeah.
So yeah, it would be pretty cool to have Hella Flagrant, shirt on, sitting there, thumbs up, chilling in the stands, even though you're really not watching the game on TV, and then take it home. Put it somewhere in the house, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know. It looked different.
The only downside is I was watching SportsCenter last night, and at the Braves, somebody hit a home run, and it hit a dog cutout right. It's not funny. Don't laugh. It is funny.
It's funny.
Right in the face. So I'd be upset if my cutout got hit in the face, but it would make SportsCenter. So.
There you go. There you go. That's all it is. I heard it came back up, so as long as it pops back up and it's not too messed up, I wouldn't even trip. Because like you said, it's SportsCenter, wherever it's making its rounds around the TV shows, hey, I'm well good. As long as they don't cut off the Hella Flagrant shirt.
Yeah, you guys
you can take my head off all you want to. Just keep the shirt. Just keep the shirt. You know what I'm saying? Looking nice.
So to basketball though, they're not using cutouts. They're kind of using some different camera angles. It's kind of crazy. I know you've watched a couple games. I know, probably a few people watching this have watched a couple games. It's interesting to see like how they're kind of maneuvering around the fact that there are no fans there. Is you know what I mean? They're switching the camera angles. They're coming at you low and tight. They got the screens up around the arena so that it kind of distracts you from the fact that there's nobody in there. They've been kind of fading in a little crowd noise and all that kind of stuff. So it's all right. I mean, I'll say it's better than what I thought it would be for now.
So the NBA, they did a little bit different. I mean, obviously having the big scoreboards and everything like that, I like it because maybe once the season starts, if you're watching this, it's probably Thursday and it's, the season's going to be starting July 30th. They'll probably change it up once TNT and ESPN gets a hold of it. I mean, they'll work it out to where
I
it's
agree.
nice.
I agree. They're going to try to figure out something to make this entertaining. I mean, they have all this TV time, so they've got to use it wisely. My thing is, and somebody else actually asked me if they could do this, is like if they could put different decals on the floor to make it feel like you're in somebody's actually the home team. You know what I'm saying? And maybe switch up the decal and maybe the color of the paint real quick, put a little vinyl. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it might be a little bit tough to do that only just because I think what happens is because it's going to be hard to maneuver all that stuff around.
Right.
Seeing as games going to be back to back throughout the day. But you're right. Just try maybe a little bit more creativity with stuff. And like I said, I'm sure that they'll be able to adjust by the time that the games start. But right now, it does look nice. If they can take advantage of the boards and the different situations just to make it feel a little bit more like a home game for a certain team as opposed to just being an open gym type of look. That'd be better. But I mean, all in all, like you said, it's better than nothing, man. It's better than just than what I expected.
So speaking of better than expected, who's playing a little bit better coming out of quarantine and lockdown? Who are you looking at that's like, oh man, I didn't see that coming?
I can't. Let's be honest. I mean, the only person that looks like he's in any kind of game form is the person that we all thought would look like he was going to be ready in game form.
The king.
Yeah, that's the king. So, I mean, that's flying up and down the court like nothing's ever, like he never left.
It's ridiculous.
For a 35-year-old, 17-year-old vet or whatever he is, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like the fact that he's still taking 4 months off and flying around like he's ready to win this championship. I mean, I don't know if it's going to happen. We'll still see. I haven't watched everybody.
Their bench, I mean, I know it was a scrimmage game, and I know it's early, and I know, you know what I mean? Like, you have to play and get back in the rhythm of playing, but their bench looks suspect over there.
Yeah, very true.
And I obviously, again, with the COVID-19 situation, there's obviously teams aren't playing with their full rosters, and the Lakers are one of them. And so we'll see how that affects them moving forward, but that bench, man, yeah. Alex Caruso, fouled out in 12 minutes last night.
I mean, JR and Dion Waiters, man.
Yeah.
Oh boy. At one point, they weren't playing for a reason. It's gonna take them a while to get back into the swing of things. But
yeah,
I mean, all in all, Seth Curry looked really good the other night. Yeah. I mean, he didn't miss any shots.
Dallas as a whole kind of looked, Boban.
Yeah, they look good. They look good. I haven't really seen the Clippers. We talk about Bobo playing with the Nuggets. Surprisingly, he was out of this world. I mean, if you don't know who he is, I can completely understand that. He's Manu Bo's son, but he – no? Oh, yeah. No. Yeah, but, yeah, I mean, but he looks – good for what I would have thought, and because of that, the NBA drug tested him.
Yeah.
Also, because they didn't expect Bobo to look
be that good
like that. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, but either way, I mean, basketball's back, and that's all I'm happy with.
Yeah, absolutely. And basketball is back in full swing. So as this gets ready to air, we'll be looking at games coming up soon. You know who won't be playing though, unfortunately, to start this little season? Your boy Sweet Lou Williams, man. Sweet Lou was making the magic happen in Atlanta, apparently.
Woo, boy.
Hanging out with rapper Jack Harlow in Magic City. And the NBA has, forced him to quarantine himself, for hanging out at Magic City. And some news outlets have called Magic City a fine dining establishment. I'm not gonna call it that. I've been there. You've been there. We've been there. There was a lot of fine. I don't know about dining going on.
Yeah, they got the fine part. That's for sure. The dining. Nah, man.
Yeah, I don't know. Had you said you was at like Cheetah Club, maybe, because the lamb shanks and the chicken Caesar salad at Cheetah Club are on point, and I might have believed you that you were eating dinner there. But you're at Magic City, nah. I know what you doing at Magic City, Lou.
Right, and so does he, and so does everybody else, and that's the whole reason why he went there. Because let's not mistaken that Atlanta does not have terrific restaurants all across the city that he could have gone and eaten at any time, just like he tried to do at Magic City. So, I mean, let's be serious here. I mean, Lou Will, great player. I mean, we all know him from, his past with the two women and Drake, and shout him out in every song that he has pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, he's amazing. But at the same time, the NBA has a bubble plan for a reason. They're trying to take this somewhat seriously. They allowed you to leave to go check on your family. You probably should have just went to check on your family if that was the case.
But how amazing does Magic City have to be for a man with two girlfriends to risk missing NBA games to go there. Like,
well, that's okay, and I'm not about to sit here and talk bad about Lou Will. Lou Will, if you're watching this, man, keep doing what you're doing. But on the real, like, if you can only get a few days, I mean, you still have 2 at home. Like, maybe go handle whatever business and then do that at home.
Yeah.
And then come back. I mean, Magic City is a great place to be. I'm not knocking Magic City one bit. But I'm just saying, if you're going to possibly get in trouble and you have 2 people at home that are excited to see you, just maybe go do that and then go back to your bubble. But
or maybe not take a picture for the gram with a rapper that's gonna post it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right, especially when you're supposed to be at home with your
that's
family.
just, I mean, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, that's just my thing. But, you know, shout out to Lou Will. Hopefully he had a wonderful 10-piece lemon pepper wing on his way out of Magic City that night and called it dinner, because that's the only eating you're supposed to do at Magic City.
Yeah, you're supposed to do at Magic City. Let's hope that's all the eating he did at Magic City, because shout out to all the strip clubs that are trying to make it out here that don't have.
It's rough out here in quarantine.
It's rough, yeah.
It is rough. We won't get into that. But all right, so switching over to NFL news, a story came out recently about the Jets owner, Woody Johnson. Apparently, there are some allegations of racism and sexual, I guess, harassment from the Jets owner when he was the U.S. ambassador to the UK. He worked at the embassy, and apparently there were some both racist and sexist comments that he would make while there. And so now, I guess the NFL is looking into these allegations and investigating the owner. Not exactly sure what is going to come of that, but we have, obviously seen in the last couple of days that Jets star Jamal Adams has been traded as a result of not wanting to, I guess, be around this owner and the coach, Adam Gates. So let's talk about that for a little bit. Let's talk about the Jets. What does this mean for Seattle? And what does this mean for their ownership and front office?
Yeah, I mean, the Jets obviously have had a terrible time in the last, I don't know how long, since they had Joe Tyson back in the day. It's like they've been going through it. But either way, yeah, I think that for Jamal Adams' situation, Jamal Adams has been very boisterous about not wanting to play for Adam Gase, who is the head coach of the New York Jets, and basically saying that he's a joke. He's been saying that publicly for the last year, even during the season. I guess he doesn't like the way he conducts a lot of things, including the fact that they're losing all the time. I'm sure that helped the situation.
Seems like a problem with Jets head coaches all the time.
Really. Exactly. So, I mean, coming with that, and then the owner, Jamal Adams just basically forced his way out of the New York market. And Seattle was very quick to, pick him up and start with him on their team because, let's be serious, I mean, Jamal Adams is a star.
Right.
Like, he's a star. He might be the only defensive player that they have on their team. And for him playing in that city, I mean, yeah, it's New York, but at the same time, the Jets are the Jets. And, if you're going to be running around playing at extreme measures and being the safety that, all Hall of Fame, not Hall of Fame, I'm sorry, but like all-star safety, he's not definitely not a Hall of Famer, but you know what I'm saying? Like Pro Bowler, I should say. You don't want to play for a terrible team like that, and especially not a coach that, you don't get along with as well as an owner who's out here making, making sexist remarks and racism, racist remarks. And so I get it. I understand why he would want to leave. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, shouts out to Seattle who picked him up. Not good for 49er fans, but I mean,
we'll be fine. We'll be fine.
Seattle, I mean, that's a good pickup. I mean, in that backfield, but like we talked about earlier, other than Bobby Wagner, Seattle doesn't have anybody anyway. So
right. So I mean, it's good for Seattle. I'm not threatened as a 49er fan. I hate to say this, but I'd be more worried about Arizona than Seattle, actually. right now. But it is a good pickup for Seattle, as they look to try to rebuild their team. And we'll see what this means for the Jets and their organization. It seems like they are taking a ton of other hits, so this is just another hit for them to have to kind of get through.
Yeah, and you think too also with that. I mean, just to say real quick, I mean, if Jamal Adams can force his way out, would say anybody else wouldn't. I mean, we know Le'Veon's on that team, and we know how outspoken he is about things. So, I mean, this could be the beginning to the end for the whole organization unless they get, the owner, Woody Johnson, out of there because
right.
they don't seem like from the top down, they don't seem very buttoned up and organized. And if that's the case, why would anybody want to play for that team or franchise?
Right. So, and, so we'll see how this goes. Now, this wasn't on our topic sheet, but sticking with New York sports organizations and bad decisions, or I don't know if this is a bad decision, but a decision had to be made nonetheless. The New York Knicks, they've hired Tom Thibodeau. I believe they gave him a 5-year deal. But before they hired him, a story came out that their own office couldn't keep under wraps the fact that they did not trust Jason Kidd. Now, I like Jason Kidd. He's from East Oakland. Shout out to J Kidd. But J Kidd has done some kind of funny stuff on the court and off the court.
And off the
court. So I mean, I don't fault the Knicks for saying they may not trust the man. Where I do fault them is for not being able to keep that a secret, though. Like, what are y'all doing in your office that people just can let this information come out like that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's almost like they wanted it to come out, to be honest. I mean, look, Jason Kidd was a great basketball player, and he's actually a really good coach. He does do things that are suspect. Let's be honest. I mean, I don't want to get into a lot of things, but especially not off the court. But I mean, even on the court, I mean, the situation with the cup, and I mean, it's hard to explain. But if anybody's seen it, when he has players bump into him on purpose to knock down the cup with the water so he can get extra time out, I mean, that's Jason Kidd in a nutshell. That was easily how he goes about life.
That was easily one of the funniest things, though. Like you can't lie. Like that was hilarious. But if he would have got away with it and nobody caught him like that, I mean,
yeah. The problem is you got 50 cameramen that really focus directly into your face, and so when you do it, it's like, okay, maybe the ref didn't see, but the rest of the world that watches TNT basketball saw it. So yeah, but yeah, but the Knicks are the Knicks, and they're just as bad because they don't know, up from down and left from right either. So
at all.
I mean, they can sit there and talk all they want to about Jason Kidd, but they got to look inside too. People that have glass houses should throw stones.
So yeah, I mean now, and saying that, hiring Tom Thibodeau, let's look at that for a second. What does this do for the Knicks?
Well, I mean, it depends on how you want to run the team. Like by hiring Tom Thibodeau, I feel like the Knicks are saying we don't have a lot of structure inside, and we need to get everything basically run to a point. Basically, right. Okay. If anybody doesn't know about Tom Thibodeau is the kind of coach that will run his players into the ground. He demands respect. It's almost like a drill sergeant.
Yeah.
That's not really great for today's younger youth players, because he doesn't relate. He doesn't understand. Right. He's an older gentleman, but he's too fixated on playing basketball a certain way.
Right.
So by hiring him, you're basically telling your team that this is how we're going to do things going forward. And I don't know if the Knicks players are really up for that unless they plan on getting completely new players. They don't. I was just going to say.
I mean, I think where the Knicks stand, they're kind of either looking at, hey, we have to either make these young guys adapt to this style, or we're willing to clean house because we don't really have too many people that we're just going to hang on to. And now I know we talked about this earlier, but you said they're really trying to put the pieces together to land LaMelo. And right. I'll be honest, like okay, two things. One, LaMelo doesn't instantly help the New York Knicks. Two, I'm not knocking LaMelo Ball saying that he can't play, but I don't know that he's a guy I'm going to build a franchise around. So if you clean house and get LaMelo as your draft pick and say I'm gonna take this year kind of as another L to get some more players to put around the LaMelo, like LaMelo and Tom Thibodeau, that's what we're banking on here.
Yeah, I don't see that being a good look at all. Just because, I mean, not really just because of the on the court aspect, but even more the off. I mean, LaMelo, I don't know him, so I can't really speak to it. But I mean, he doesn't seem like the type of person or player that would respond to, the way that Tom Thibodeau likes to coach basketball.
Right.
It doesn't seem like he would be able to go for that. And then we all know about LeVar, his father, and his outspokenness and being in New York and having all that and LeVar talking, because if LaMelo goes to New York, LeVar is going to New York. Let's just be 100% serious.
Right.
Because when he's in a city or in a situation that he knows that he can get publicity, he's going to come back out and speak. That's why he was doing that in LA.
Yeah, easily.
In New Orleans, right?
Easily.
When it's with Lonzo. So if LaMelo goes to the Knicks, that's going to be him being more outspoken, him wanting to be more in the spotlight, and then that's going to obviously Tom Thibodeau's not going to accept that.
No.
We know that.
No.
So I think it can cause for a lot of confliction. I also believe.
Well, I think Knicks ownership isn't going to go for that. They're not going to go for LeVar.
Right.
They don't even show Spike Lee respect, and he spends money there. Like.
Right. Exactly. So I don't know if that's going to work. I mean, hey, we'll find out. We'll see if they even get LaMelo and how Tom Thibodeau is. But going off of everything that I know about Tom Thibodeau, I don't know if that's going to work, even if they don't get LaMelo, because the players that they have in New York are all young players, and they most likely won't be able to respond. So you might be right about the whole clean house. It's either my way or the highway type thing right now. I think with the Knicks basically telling them we got to get ourselves back in line, and if you guys can't follow that, maybe you need to go somewhere else.
Yeah, so we'll see how this pans out for New York. But Tom Thibodeau, you got a job. Jason Kidd, you do not at the moment.
Well, he's still an assistant coach. With the Lakers,
for the Lakers,
and
you don't have the head
coach.
Get
a championship or something, or do something. Maybe
I still thought that the Lakers may be grooming him to move him up in a year or two. In the head coach
that could be it.
Spot.
That could be it. They probably just don't trust him enough to be the head coach at this time either, because the Lakers could have hired him too as a head coach, but they didn't.
That's true.
So.
That's true. He was coming off a DUI, but
I didn't want to say all that. But okay. Now that it's there, I mean, yeah.
I'm just being honest. Just freshly coming off of one. So switching over to another basketball-related story, the University of Kentucky, its basketball stadium has long been named after Coach Adolph Rupp. That was a famous coach from 1930 to I think 1971. He's one of the highest winning coaches in NCAA Division I history. And so it's only right that University of Kentucky had their stadium and has had their stadium named after him. Well, a lot of faculty and alumni are calling for the stadium to have its name changed. Apparently, Coach Rupp was against recruiting black players for the most of his 30-year tenure as coach, 40-year tenure, as coach. He refused to recruit black players. It wasn't only until his last 3 seasons that he decided to start recruiting black players. So for 30 some odd seasons, he refused to recruit black players and have them on his team. And so now, alumni, faculty, there are, a lot of members of the University of Kentucky community that are calling for that stadium's name to be changed. I just wanted to get your take. How do you feel about that? Stuff like that.
Well, I mean, I think it's progressive. I think that, at this point, you can change the name and it wouldn't affect too many people. I don't think anybody that's still around was around when he was there, at least that's working for the University of Kentucky. I believe it should be changed. Now, it might offend a lot of people in the neighborhood, in the community, but come on, these are different times now. We've been dealing with the social injustice and stuff like that. There's nothing wrong with changing the situation. That might offend somebody in a different way. Now, they don't have to change it to something, they could just change it to have something like Kentucky Gymnasium or whatever you want
Right.
to do. It doesn't
Blue.
have
You
to.
could call it the Blue something or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, whatever Blue Devils or whatever the
Arena.
situation.
Yeah.
That's not Blue Devils. That's Duke. I'm sorry, all you Kentucky fans. like the Wildcats. You know what I'm
Wildcats.
saying? Like
Yeah.
Wildcat Country or something like that. Like something that creative but doesn't have to have anybody's specific name. Something that wouldn't offend everybody, but also has to do with the culture. But yeah, I do think that they should change it. At this time, it's just something that's not necessary. Somebody who wouldn't even think to hire black or not hire, I'm sorry, to even think to recruit black players or any players of color just because of the situation. I mean, yeah, that you don't need to represent your school with that, especially considering how Duke has. I mean, I keep saying Duke. I'm sorry to Kentucky fans. But for Kentucky, especially, Kentucky has had multiple players come in that system, play and everything, all different races and stuff like that. So at this point, I mean, do not offend every single person by leaving this man's name
Right.
on the stadium. Just change it because it's not that serious.
Right. Right. And players, especially these high school players coming out of high school, have started to show that they have a lot more control as to where they go and to where they play. And if you want to recruit these big name players, and let's be honest, a lot of them are of color, of African American descent. Let's just be honest. If you want to recruit them, I think it's time to be, like you said, progressive and think about changing the name to something that doesn't offend anybody, something that's just universal. So we'll see how the University of Kentucky takes on that and moves forward with that. For now, they say they're not changing it, but they are listening to the complaints and they will consider it. So we'll see. On to a story that I think is incredibly fun. My man, your man, everybody's man, Iron Mike Tyson is coming back to the ring. Yes. He will have an exhibition fight on September 12th against Roy Jones Jr. Y'all must have forgot. I gotta go watch that Roy Jones rap video right now because y'all must have forgot about Roy Jones, man.
I want to forget about that.
I'm gonna forget about that part of this. But Mike Tyson, happy to see it. After all that he's obviously been through, it's all been so public. You know what I mean? We've seen Mike obviously in the ring, out of the ring, on TV, movies, cartoon
Hangover.
shows.
That cartoon was like 15 minutes, but it was hilarious.
It's one of the greatest things I've ever seen. So we've seen Mike, do a lot of different things. And so as sports fans, it's great to see Mike one more time in the ring. I'm looking forward to it. I know you're looking forward to it. Vegas is looking forward to it. It's going to be exciting.
Yeah. When I saw that Mike Tyson, I mean, if you go on to, Flagrant Foul, you obviously will see the stories that we wrote about Mike Tyson having a comeback. If you guys don't know anything about it, Mike Tyson, 53, is deciding to step back into the ring, just like you said, to fight Roy Jones. But the biggest thing, I mean, this guy looks like a machine still at 53 years old. And look, I understand that he probably lost a step. I understand that he probably can't do this for a real career, but an exhibition against Roy Jones Jr., like just the names alone, I don't care what they look like. Just whatever it is, just put it in the ring so I can pay for it to see it, man. Like if they come out and knock each other out with one punch together at the same time, and I had to pay $100, I don't care.
It's worth it.
It's worth it. I just want to see them in there. Like Mike Tyson can throw 5 punches and be so tired that he falls onto the canvas.
That's gonna happen.
Fine with that.
He lasts more than 3 rounds. That's gonna happen.
That's where Roy Jones might be able to win this, but I don't think Roy Jones can do it because Roy Jones ain't Roy Jones no more. We saw last time he fought, and that was before he started, not really caring too much. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm sure Roy Jones has been getting in shape, and they don't want to look bad, but look, however this works, however this happens, I'm
for
for
it.
it.
I'm
I
for
am
every
for
minute, second, whatever.
it.
I'm for all of it. Bring Don King back just for the heck of it. Hey, you
Man,
know
no,
what I
I
mean?
actually
Make it
saw
a
something that said
circus.
that they're friends and they talk now again. So
Make it a circus. Let's
just
do
no,
it.
exactly. Just I mean, look, we talked about it. They're gonna have Nate Robinson also fight
Oh
Jake
yeah,
Paul.
fight Jake Paul.
So it's already gonna be just a wild
Right.
day. Like yeah,
I'm
you're
pretty sure
right.
there's gonna be some
Just
other
have.
undercard. Like they're gonna add one more
Oh, they
undercard.
have to.
They
Like
have to.
at this point, make this the silliest thing you've ever seen.
Yeah,
Like I
because
mean,
people don't have anything else to watch. Like you might as well. People
yeah,
pay whatever for it because what else is there? You know what I mean? It's like other sports are
yeah.
just starting to come back. Football's not back yet. I mean, well, that'll be the weekend that football is coming back. So that will
Right.
be an amazing weekend.
Oh my God, basketball on that fight, the craziness of that, and then football the next day. Oh, I couldn't ask for more than that.
Yeah,
That's this is tremendous.
yeah,
But Mike Tyson, man, I cannot express how happy I was to see that. Like that has made my day
yeah.
because Mike Tyson, what used to be the baddest person to watch on
Yeah,
TV.
man.
Good
Like, come on,
God.
man. Like that was just the greatest show of brute strength and like a bit like the way he would strike fear into people. You still had to get in this ring and know, all right, well, I'm gonna do my best to try to fight this guy, but there's the greatest chance that I'm going to get knocked out. Like there's,
I
you
could
know what I
no.
mean?
There's a chance I could die. Is what you have to say when you fought him. This man, look, I was scared watching the fight from my house. Like I would see him come up, and I would not know what was going to happen. Like I mean, look, we know what happened with Evander and him biting his ear off. That man would have done whatever it took to do to win a fight or
Yeah.
to just
No, we know
get
that.
whatever respect he needed. He was insane, and he
I mean,
still got that
he
in him.
tattooed his face. I mean,
Yes,
he let you know what kind of crazy he was.
yes. Like
He
at
wanted you to
53,
know.
he's still there. He's still there. Like it's still the same mentality. So I cannot wait
Yeah,
for this fight.
this is
September
going to be
12th,
exciting.
somewhere in Los Angeles. I don't care how much they ask me to pay for it. It has to be bought.
It has to.
It
It's
has
going
to.
down. It's
Yeah,
going
that
down.
is going to be something else.
Oh man. So yeah, that'll be an interesting weekend in sports. It'll be fun to see all that go down. I'm looking forward to it. I know you are. It'll be great.
Oh, yeah.
But that's it. That's all we got this episode. Hella Flagrant the podcast. As always, y'all know you can check out theflagrantfoul.com. You know what I mean? We got all the stories. We got all the other episodes of the Hella Flagrant podcast. You can find it. It's been redesigned. It's real easy to navigate now. So you can find all the stuff that you're trying to get to. So check out theflagrantfoul.com for all the stories. Make sure you're checking us out on Instagram, The Flagrant Foul, at The Flagrant Foul, at Hella Flagrant DM, at Sean B. Flagrant. Make sure you're checking us out. And, we here. Keep tuning in. You know how we do it. We right here dropping for y'all.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank y'all for listening, watching, everything. I mean, we trying to get back and bring y'all the news at sports. I mean, the other side of sports, how we like to do it. But yeah, www.theflagrantfoul.com. Remember to put theflagrantfoul.com in there. We got the Hella Flagrant podcast that we're on right now. Obviously, we got a whole bunch of stories that you guys can read if we haven't talked about anything. If you want us to talk about anything, comment on the stuff. Let us know. We will speak on it if we can. But like you say, it's all for y'all. So just keep tuning in. We here. We try to do it as much as possible, but we here. So
yeah.
Boom.
On that note, we're gonna catch y'all on the next one. Hella Flagrant the podcast. We out.
Peace.